My name is Sydney Modaff and I completed my communication internship at Truman State University's Office of Admission. I typically begin my day by coming into Sherry's office to discuss the day's tasks and a timetable for those tasks. It's actually in this office where I got the opportunity to do this internship. I talked to Sherry about the different opportunities that the comm department has for internships and how much I loved being an orientation leader the summer before. Along with my experience of being a student ambassador, I was able to talk her and Dawn into offering me this internship. I do a majority of my work in this cubicle. Yeah. If I need more space, I can also use the workroom for my projects as well. I also sometimes give tours. Why don't I give you one? Most days I'll spend some time welcoming visitors at the front desk. During the school year, I am also a student ambassador, so this summer I was able to work on different materials needed for the student ambassador training. This includes bio cards and also a Kahoot that is used at the training. I also sometimes give tours. Why don't I give you one? I turned in some reimbursement paperwork after traveling to the Chicago Scholars Fair. Traveling to Chicago was a great opportunity because I got to talk to prospective students about how much I love Truman. I also got to step into the role as a traveling admissions counselor, which is something I wouldn't have been able to do without this trip. This brings back memories of orientation. Baldwin Hall is where I meet with all my PAW groups, or my peer advising workshops. This was an opportunity for me to work with students about preparing for their Truman career. Also throughout my internship, I was able to learn a lot of fun facts about Truman. For example, this mini art gallery located in Ophelia Parish. During the JVA Junior Scavenger Hunt, I was able to show the students this small art gallery while also interacting with them through a fun scavenger hunt. Come on! In addition to being a communication major, I am also part of the Pre-Masters of Education program. So I was so excited when I got the opportunity to create handouts for younger student recruitment. I created a handout with steps on how to get to college, and on the back was a word search, so it was interactive for potential students. I also had an opportunity to remodel a showroom in Centennial Hall. I was able to move our materials out of our old showroom, move them into the new showroom, and also get additional materials for this room. Working in the Office of Admission has been an amazing opportunity for me to grow and develop as a professional. I've been so lucky to have such a wonderful supervisor, Sherry, to push me to grow and develop as an individual, but also as a professional. She has pushed me to try things different ways, but also to interact with lots of different people. In the very beginning of my internship, we talked about what my goals were. One of my goals was to interact with different people. I have received so many opportunities to interact with so many different people, including the professional staff here at the Office of Admission. In addition, I also received the opportunity to work with different families throughout the orientation leader season. By interacting with these people, I think I received an opportunity to be a better professional in the future, because by knowing people's backgrounds, I'm able to better serve them. By doing different interviews with the professional staff, I was able to understand their type of their goals and how they would like to grow as professionals as well. One project I was really passionate about was the Bulldog Buzz. The Bulldog Buzz was a series of newsletters for incoming freshmen. One newsletter talked about important dates coming up within a first-year student's first month at Truman. Another one talked about what to expect during Truman Week. The final newsletter talked about getting involved on campus. I created these different ideas through conversations with my supervisor, Sherry. Then I made a physical written game plan. This is one of the skills I learned from doing JBA Junior Scavenger Hunt. We were able to bounce ideas around about how to communicate with students successfully and what content would be helpful. Once we decided on 3 different subjects, I began writing rough drafts of the newsletters. I then had them approved by Sherry and worked on the final edits. My favorite part was the creative design aspect. I wanted a yellow and purple design throughout the newsletters. I was able to use Canva to make my dream come to life. I created one design to put on Instagram, and this allowed the students to be enticed to want to read the newsletter. I then went on to create the actual newsletter. I then created dates with Sherry on what days we would post these newsletters so that they would get the most views and also be spaced out far enough that students weren't bombarded with information. We wanted it to be an opportunity for students to get excited about their future Truman career. I would post the newsletters by putting the link in the bio on Truman Orientation's Instagram homepage. From doing this project, I learned that combining creativity and giving information is possible. I also learned that identifying information can be difficult because what's important is not always what's fun. In order to learn more about my work style, my leadership style, and my organizational style, I decided to talk to different leaders in the Office of Admission. I interviewed my direct supervisor, Sherry, the Associate Director of Admission, Amanda, the Assistant Director of Admission, Dawn, and the Director of Admission, Dr. Tara Hart. I asked a variety of questions to these individuals about their background and also about their leadership and organizational skills. This was very interesting because although I interviewed all of these individuals separately, they all worked together on a daily basis. And by sitting down and talking to them, I was able to get a better understanding for their leadership styles and how they are able to walk together. I would describe my work style as reliant on relationships. I enjoy doing tasks that help others or make others' jobs easier, but I also enjoy being able to be creative with the work that I do. I learned a lot about organization through the interviews, and by talking about how people stay organized, I think I'll be able to implement some of those techniques into my life. Sherry uses written calendars and a written planner. Amanda likes to use technology to organize her life, so she has her work and personal calendar in sync, so she can keep track of deadlines but also different appointments. I think I will begin using Google Calendars, but still keep using my personal planner to keep track of day-to-day information. I felt very prepared for this internship based on the courses I've taken. When working with students, I found using Maslow's hierarchy of needs was always in the back of my mind, because I wanted to make sure students were comfortable and having all their needs met so that they would be able to learn more about Truman but also prepare for their future. I learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs in communication theory and persuasion theory. I also thought a lot about social penetration theory when creating different handouts. The Bulldog Buzz had more depth, but when I made a handout for younger student recruitment, I focused more on the breadth to reach different audiences of students. Before my internship, I wish I knew more about working with different publishing and design software. I also wish I knew more about the makeup of an office. Both my parents are educators, so the office layout and hierarchy was something that was very unfamiliar to me. But I do believe that with some of my future coursework and experiences, I will be more familiar with the type of office setting that I got to work in this summer. I've really enjoyed my internship in the Office of Admission. The best part of it was developing relationships with people around the office. Everyone was so welcoming, and I really, truly feel lucky that I get to continue working in the Office of Admission as a student ambassador.